Discover how to become a copywriter who lands the best paying gigs. It all starts with amazing headlines. It doesn't matter if you want to become a copywriter as a side hustle to make a bit of extra income, or you want to go all in and make a full-time substantial income like I do. There are a few essentials that you need to get your head around if you want to make some money as a copywriter, or even writing in your spare time. Now, what I'm going to do in this series, I'm going to fast track you through some of the essential things you need to know to make income as a writer working online. Now, don't forget to watch through to the end of the video, because I'm going to give you some free bonuses. There's absolutely no charge, and I'll tell you about that towards the end of the video. So keep watching for that. And without further ado, let's dive in and look at some of the essential tips you need to make some money online writing copy. So these tips I'm going to give you on writing amazing headlines are some of my most powerful tips. That's what I'm doing in this series. I'm going to fast track you to some tips that are based on my experience of working with paying clients since 2011. So essentially what I'm trying to do is get you ahead of the game quickly with the most important tips you're going to need to either make a living or make a nice sideline as a well-paid copywriter. So let's dive in. So just to clarify something that I'm often asked is, what is the difference between a headline and a subject line? Well, typically a headline would be the heading you see, also known as a heading, you see at the top of a piece of text. It's the main heading that pulls you into the text and gets you to read further. Whereas a subject line is most commonly referred to, the headline you see at the top of an email. So you'd put the subject line in order to get the reader to open the email. So that's your first line of attack on an email. A subheading is just what it says. That's the smaller headings that come under the main heading, and a subheading can also be referred to as a section heading. So for the sake of this, we'll just call them headlines and subheadings. They can refer to emails, they can refer to blog posts, they can refer to articles, but let's just stick to headlines and subheadings. So it's the main heading, and then any headings that come underneath that would be the subheading. Now, the importance of an amazing attention-grabbing headline is something that can't be overstated. If you think about it, it's your only chance, it's your one and only chance to get the reader to read further into the piece. So, for example, if it's a blog post, you need an attention-grabbing headline to encourage the reader to read further. Same on an email. If someone receives an email in their inbox, you've got to have an attention-grabbing headline or a subject line, as it is on an email, to get them to open the thing in the first place. Now, bear in mind, if they don't open, if they don't open an article to look at it, or a blog post to look at it, or they don't open an email, you kind of sunk before you start. So as I said previously, your first area of attack is the headline itself, and it's got to be attention grabbing. So for example, if you look at the headline for this video, I've tried to make that grab your attention by talking about amazing headlines and things of that nature. So make sure your headline grabs attention. As I say, if it doesn't grab attention, you're basically sunk before you start. So with that said, what can you do to make your headline grab attention? Very important. So what I'll do next is I'll give you some tips that I use. These are real tips that I use in my business day to day. Things that I use to make my headlines and my subs make sure they're on point and grab attention. So all of these work when used in headlines. Let's start with the first one, which is big, bold facts. And that's a tricky one because it doesn't necessarily have to be a fact. So for example, of a big, bold fact, you could say, it's true, the moon landing never happened. Now, that's not specifically a fact, whether you believe it or not. It may be a fact, it may not be a fact, but it's attention grabbing. So it needs to be something that's big, bold, and really gets hold of people and makes them want to read on and read your piece. The next one is make a promise. So for example, you could say, by the end of reading this, you will know how to lose 25 pounds within 3 weeks, that kind of thing. So make a promise, a benefit that the reader will receive from reading the piece, which they wouldn't have had prior to reading it. And another one is to ask a question, such things as, did you know, or are you sure, or have you heard? All these kind of questions are attention grabbing and can get people to read your piece, pull them into it and get them to read further. Another good idea is to state a major benefit in your amazing headline. Something along the lines of, by the time you finish reading this, you'll understand how to make friends and influence people. That would be a major benefit. Or any other benefit that relates to the audience you're writing for. You can also use a number in your amazing headline. That's a good idea to give people an idea of scale. So, within 7 days, you'll be able to do X. Or the 7 reasons you need to read this article. Using a number can be quite effective as well for pulling people in. And use a benefit timescale. What I mean by that is give people a timescale within which they can expect to benefit. So if you read this article, you'll be able to hang glide within 7 days, or you'll be able to scale a mountain easily within 2 months. So give some idea of scale so people will know how much time they need to invest to benefit from the piece they're reading. You can also be intriguing in your amazing headline. That also works. Put a little bit of mystery in there, like our example before. Did the moon landing actually happen? Was someone murdered? Did they disappear mysteriously in mysterious circumstances? So putting a little bit of mystery and intrigue in there can work quite well as also in your headline. Be life-changing. Make a promise in there that people, if they achieve what you're writing about, it could change their life forever. For example, losing weight, or perhaps someone is struggling to conceive a child or something of that nature. Anything that could be life-changing in someone's life is something you can put into a headline that's going to get interest and get them to read. And then finally, make a strong emotional impact. People are emotional beings, and if you can make a connection on an emotional level, then that is going to encourage people to read further and get them past the hurdle of either opening your email or reading the headline of your piece. Now, talking about strong emotional impact, I've got something next that's really going to help you write superb headlines. So let's move on and look at that. Okay guys, so now we come to my ninja trick that's going to make sure your headlines are absolutely amazing. And it's something called the Headline Analyzer. Now, this is a tool which is going to ensure that you have emotional impact in your headlines and you encourage people to read your piece. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you online next. We're going to look at this in detail. I'm going to show you where to find the Headline Analyzer, and we'll take a look at how to use it to make sure your headlines are absolutely amazing. So here we are at the Advanced Marketing Institute at their Headline Analyzer. This is my ninja tool for making sure you produce really stunning headlines. The address for it is aminstitute.com/headline. So it's aminstitute.com/headline. This is the box that you paste your headline into and submit for analysis. Now, if you have a look down below, it tells you that it's a free tool and it will analyze your headline to determine the emotional marketing value, the EMV score, based on their proprietary technology. It's analysed on a number of things. You look to see if your content appears to be intellectual, empathetic, or spiritual. So it will also give you an idea of how your content ranks up in terms of those 3 criteria. So first things first, let's pick a headline to analyse. Here's a couple here that I prepared earlier, so we'll just copy and paste that across. All you do is simply drop the headline in here, as I've done there, and then press submit for analysis. Takes a couple of seconds, and you'll see that the analyzer is giving that headline an EMV of 36%, which is not particularly high. In fact, it's 36.36%. So that headline has an emotional marketing value of 36.36%. Now, if you look down here, you see that most professional copywriters will typically have 30 to 40%. So it's not a bad one, but it's not brilliant. I'm sure we can do a lot better. And this tells me here that that headline is very much in the spiritual area. So it carries words that have predominantly a spiritual appeal. So that's quite interesting how they analyse it there for you. So the headline I entered again was "Discover how to become the copywriter who lands the best paying gigs," and I got an EMV of 36%. So let's go back and let's try another headline. This is a very loose headline. It doesn't really say anything, but it's just to show you as an example everything you need to know about everything. So let's copy that and go back to the analyzer, and we'll drop that in and we'll submit that for analysis. Only takes a couple of seconds and it'll come up with the result. So you can see this one, the headline we entered then, everything you need to know about everything, has come up with a much higher EMV, 71%, so it quite likes that one. We've actually got 71.43%. Now, to put that into perspective, the English language contains approximately 20% of EMV words. So we've done quite well with that one, and the analyzer is telling us that that headline is mainly intellectual, so that's quite interesting. Okay, so that one we got 71.43% for everything you need to know about everything. It's not really a headline you would ever use, but it's just to demonstrate what the EMV headline analyzer can do. Okay, let's try one last one to see what we get. This actually becomes quite good fun, trying to beat your previous score and get a result as high as you can. So I think you'll quite enjoy playing around with this, and the idea is to play around and get some high scores. Okay, so now how to start affiliate marketing today. Let's submit that for analysis. Just takes a couple of minutes. Just ignore all the adverts and things of that nature. Now the EMV on this one, it's 83%. That's extremely high. Again, you know, a normal copywriter 30 to 40%. So at 83.33%, that's definitely a headline we would consider using. And as far as the analyzer is concerned, that's empathetic and spiritual. So probably the combination of both of those helps to give it such a high score. Guys, if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe and hit the bell notification, so when I've got more free tips and advice to share with you, I know where to send them. Now, I really appreciate you supporting the channel, because it helps me to go on and make videos like this to share free advice and tips with you. So if you'd like to, leave a comment, get involved in the conversation, and consider sharing around if you think it might help someone else to get into writing copy online for money. Now, as promised at the start of the video, I've got some free bonuses for you guys. You'll find a link either down below or in the comments. So go there, help yourself to the free bonuses. I'm sure it's stuff that's going to help you on your way. And as I say, absolutely no charge. Go help yourself to those. Alright guys, that's about it for this video. Look out for the next one in the series, where I give you more free advice and tips to help you make money writing online. That's it for now guys. Ciao, bye bye.